all I can see is my photograph.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and everybody in between. Welcome to Season 8 of the BSTV GT4 TCR Challenge. I am Clyde Whiting, and in the booth with me tonight, we have a man making his broadcasting debut. The man, they say, has got more rabbit than Sainsbury's, and the man that has been knighted by the racing community. It is Sir Alan Toon. Good evening.
Good evening, Clyde. What a build-up. That's awesome. Thank you very much. And I'm very happy to be here in such fine company.
And we are happy to have you. Also in the booth, making a bit of a comeback now that she's got some internets. No, that's actually a lie. Martin's at work and not using the internet, so Stacey is. It is Miss Stacey Jeffries.
Good evening, Clyde. It's good to be back.
Excellent. And on the wheels of steel, as usual, it's everybody's favourite grumpy Frenchman. It's Mr. Sam Boozin.
Yeah. Good evening, whatever.
There we go. So, Alan, I'm going to start with you. We've come on air early tonight. We've got quite a bit to get through, including the head-to-head draw for Season 8. A little bit of chat about the series. But first off, I want to ask you, basically, why have you put your head in the mouth of the bear? In that, I got in touch with you last week and said, how do you fancy doing a bit of commentating? And immediately you agreed to it, which most people are normally like, not sure, might have it to go, but not you, mate. You were straight in.
Well, it's not something that I haven't thought about, because people have been telling me since day one that I should have a go at commentating. Now, I'm not a commentator and I can't do all this fancy stuff that Pete does. But I can talk about races. And,
just on that. Sorry to butt in, but do you think people maybe told you to be a commentator because of your racing ability? Like when they say people have got a face for radio.
Do you mean because I'm famously at the rear?
I wasn't going to say that, mate. Never bring sex into a broadcast.
I'm not the fastest set of wheels on the track, it has to be said, but I am enthusiastic.
And to be honest, I think that is the most important part. And Stacey, obviously, you're back. We do know about your internet issues, but hopefully with just one of you on there tonight, everything's going to work out fine, and you'll be with us, you'll be able to see things, and everybody will be able to hear you.
Well, so far, so good. The screen is actually really clear, no pixelation, so yeah, it's awesome. I'm like, wow, how clear is this screen?
Excellent. So you've obviously logged into next door's Wi-Fi then. Right, so before we do the head-to-head draw, whilst Sam is setting everything up in the background, obviously we are back for Season 8. Can't believe that we're into our 8th season already. All of the 7 previous seasons have been absolutely fantastic. Some of the drivers that we have in this series are the best drivers out there. And yeah, it is just absolutely fantastic to be going again. iRacing have blessed us with a couple of new cars. So in the GT4 class, we now have the Aston Martin GT4. And in TCR class, we've got the Hyundai Veloster. So, Stacey, do you know anything about those two cars at all?
Unfortunately, no. I didn't realise you guys had some new cars on the go there. So, yeah, if you wouldn't mind talking us through, it would be absolutely brilliant.
Right, so Stacey's on the ball as usual, folks. Alan,
Yeah, I'm typing. Hold on.
have
Just a
you
second now. Hold on. Let me go.
have you purchased either of the new cars? Have you had a drive in them?
Which ones are you talking about?
So the Aston Martin
No.
GT4 or the Hyundai Veloster?
No, the new Hyundai. I will try them both, though. I'm the kind of person who likes to try cars, even if I'm never going to actually race them very much. I've got a large garage full of cars that I've only used a few times, but I like to try all the new cars as they come out. It's fun, and I will be trying them, especially now that they're on the track and I'm going to watch them race.
Excellent. Right. So, as for the series, we've only had one major rule change between seasons, and that is a bit of an administrative one, in that we are trying to stop drivers from switching cars during the season. Because it basically ruins all the scoring and everything else, and it gives me and Sam lots of work to do. So any driver that actually changes car during the season is going to get docked a whopping 200 points, and there's not a lot of points on the table to start with. However, what I will say is between week 6 and week 7. We will have a car change amnesty. So if somebody has been stuck in a pig for the first 6 races, then they will be able to change cars. Apart from that, the races are still an hour long. The fuel is still limited the same to enforce the pit stops. There's still a 15 incident limit before drivers get a drive-through. Just to catch you up on season 7, Chris Needham won the GT4 championship and therefore carries the number 1 on his car this season. And Sam Blees won the TCR championship and therefore he wears the 01 number on his car. Just having a quick look down the list for new drivers. So Matt Flannery is a new driver this season. He's joined Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing. And apart from that, I think they are the only one that we have on track. There is a rumour that Ellis Stevens has signed up. He may or may not join us tonight. So, Sam, are you ready to do the head-to-head wheel?
I'm always ready. What could go wrong?
Sam is always ready. So, just for the folks at home, those that missed it last time out, this is a bit of a, should we call it a Champions League equivalent, where the drivers get drawn into different groups. The first half of the season, those drivers are battling against each other to get as many points as they can and make it into the top 2 of their group. Then in the second half of the season, we go into the quarterfinals, semi-finals and final, where drivers will be fighting head-to-head against each other over a couple of rounds to score the most points and therefore progress to the next round. So, without further ado, and for the reason that I have now got my pen and paper in my hand, Sam, where do you want to start? GT4s or the TCRs?
Well, I have the GT4 up, so we're gonna start with that.
Okay. So, the way this will work is Sam will spin the wheel. First driver out goes into Group 1. Second driver goes into Group 2. And so on and so forth.
Right, let's put the wheel on. There it is.
There it is. There's that handsome fellow in the middle again.
And let's go.
Okay, so GT4s are split into 2 groups. So, first driver in Group 1 is going to be Rob Venn.
Oh,
Okay, so now we move on to Group 2. Is it going to be the champ? It is. It's Chris Needham. I'm sure many of the GT4 drivers will want to avoid Chris after his performance last season. Not particularly, setting fire to any of the tracks, but was a consistent big point scorer. Okay, so second driver in Group 2 is going to be... It's going to be Rick Hedgehog. I actually wrote Hedgehog in my book then. That was good. Okay, second driver in Group 2. It looks like it's going to be a wobbly. It's wobbly kneecaps. Somebody that we're hoping is going to drive a lot more this season, because he certainly showed a lot of pace in GT4s. Okay, back to Group 1, third driver. I do like it when Pete stops upside down, if I'm honest. It's going to be our German track specialist, Stefan Goebel. I feel wins coming on this season for Stefan. Okay, third driver in Group 2. It's the one and only Ellis Stevens. Mr. I'll sign up for this series and only ever race once. Okay, fourth driver in Group 1 is going to be... You spin me right round, baby, right round. It's Kylie Haddington.
shame this thing doesn't make a noise.
I think it does.
Yeah,
I don't
but
know why
I do have
it's not.
specific settings and it's not, so I don't know
Ah.
why. I tried to set it up.
Okay.
I think
Going
everything's going fine.
Going into Group 2 is Simon Trendle. That's looking like a, what do they call them in football? Group of death. So, back to Group 1. So we've got 2 more drivers into Group 1 and 1 into Group 2. Looks like Adam Wright is going into Group 1. Now, let's look. Who have we got left? Oh, Jamie Wilson gets pulled into Group 2, and that is going to be a proper group of death. But it's going to be Arnaud Chenonnier, which puts Jamie Wilson into Group 1. Okay, so next, Sam, we need to switch over to the TCR wheel. TCRs will get split into 4 groups because there's a lot of them.
Let me just switch camera.
Sam obviously doesn't want us to see what's going on in his internet browser.
You're right.
I know what it is.
I need to find it back now.
Feeling it is pregnant over 60s Asian babes.
There we go.
There we go. Look at that lot. Okay, let's get this going then, Sam. And let's find out our first driver in Group 1. just makes me giggle when Pete is spinning really fast. Okay, so first out, the winner of the TCR head-to-head challenge last season, and there is a very nice beanie cap on his way to him. It is Spencer McCarthy. Into Group 2. It's going to... Is it going to stop on Matt Elmore? It is. It's going to be Matt Elmore in Group 2. Okay, into Group 3. Ooh, is it going to be The Undertaker? No, I think it's just clicked over, hasn't it? It's Russell Cowell. Okay, into Group 4. It's XVR's Michael Gray. Okay, back to Group 1. Who's joining Spencer McCarthy? Oh, that's meaty straight away. It's Gary Craig. Potential TCR champion this season. And Pete Bingham's favourite person in the world. Okay, into Group 2. This is going to be The Undertaker. It's JB Dejoux. Oh, it moved. It moved. What's going on? Sorry, folks. Martin Brennan. That serves me right for taking my eyes off the screen and trying to write things down quickly. Okay, Group 3. Not saying a word. It's Stephen Walker. I think Sam has found a way to skip the wheel on a bit. Okay, second driver in Group 4. It's Shane Powell. Somebody that I personally am expecting some good results from Shane this season. Okay, back to Group 1. Who's joining Spencer and Gary? Oh, go on. Go on. Come on, blow it. Yes! It's Pete Bingham.
And with Gary.
We already know who finished last in that group.
Okay, Group 2 joining Matt Elmore and Martin Brennan. It's Fat Boy himself. It's Carl Hardy.
Yay.
Okay, joining Russell Cowell and Stephen Walker in Group 3. It's Bill's favourite person. It's David Evers. Okay, into Group 4 now, joining Michael Gray and Shane Powell. Whoa. Why is he in there? Okay, spin that again. I must have left him in there accidentally because I thought he joined up in TCR and he hadn't.
Oh, okay.
So we'll just cut that bit out. Talk amongst yourselves. Joining Michael Gray and Shane Powell in Group 3.
I really did that after the broadcast.
It is Sam Blease, last season's TCR champion. avoids his teammate. Okay, it's back into Group 1, joining Spencer and Gary, because there's no point talking about P. Ooh, it's looking like Roger. It certainly is. It's Roger Morton. Okay, into Group 2, joining Matt Elmore, Martin Brennan and Carl Hardy. It's going to be Matt Flannery, a driver that we've not seen before, so it's going to be interesting to see how good or bad he is. Group 3, Russell Cowell, Stephen Walker and David Ayres. Who is joining you? It's going to be Mark Draper.
Are you sure about that?
Yes. Unless you manage to skip the wheel again whilst I'm looking down at my piece of paper. Into Group 4. I think this could be the final driver in Group 4. Yes, it will be. Joining Michael Gray, Shane Powell and Sam Blees. It's going to be Ollie Ricks. Okay, so the last two drivers will go into Group 1 and 2 respectively. So joining Spencer, Gary, Pete and Roger will be... Dum, dum, dum. Oh, why didn't you just stop? It's going to be Andrew Littler. Hey! Which puts JB Dejoux into Group 2. Okay, so that is the head-to-head all sorted out, and I will get that all typed up nice and neatly for everybody to view at some point tomorrow. So let's go back to the race, and one thing I didn't mention, which hopefully the viewers at home and the drivers will see, have a look at the fantastic new windscreen banners done for us by Mr. Jamie Wilson, with the drivers' names on. Obviously, we have got a couple of drivers who have the same name. So if you could just switch over to Pete for us, please. And let's get a front view of Pete's car. Yeah, so that was Pete, and obviously we have another driver with the same name. Some call him Wobbly, but we call him...
Trying to find him, he's not on track. So
is he not on track? Okay, well, never mind. So there we go, folks. They are our new windscreen banners. You will notice there on your screen Simon Trendle, who's actually got a gold colour in his name, as has Sam Blees and many others. So past champions in the series get their name in gold. So although we don't offer millions of pounds in prize money and things like that, you do get your name in gold, which is worth more than any amount of money. Sam, as we've not heard a lot from you, season 8, you know, the racing, as we've said, has been absolutely tip top, can't beat it in this series. What are you expecting for tonight?
Good racing. What else?
What is that it? Any controversy? Anything?
High rate expert. No, I'm expecting to see. Well, we'll probably see the same guys again at the front. Sam, Spencer, and I'm trying to find the names in the listing. Gary, it's not like he's racing for us, but you know, and probably Michael Gray as well, as you said before. I'm expecting to see also Shane and Matt is also racing, so
Yeah.
these two gonna keep an eye on them as well. They proved to be very fast at the end of the last season. Maybe Russell as well. So we'll see. Expecting a lot from this season.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking along the lines. I'm interested to find out how Matt Flannery goes, because he has joined that Alpine Stars Geodesic racing team. That we know that they have been very, very quick. So that could be an interesting one. Alan, over to you. Sebring as a track. Now, you must have done many, many laps around there.
Yes.
What do you think as a track? Is it one that you like, or one
Oh,
that you
yeah.
try and avoid?
No. It's a fantastic track. Everybody will be loving it. They will. It's very. It's great fun to drive. It's got some fantastic corners. It's a bit flat, but it's a nice large lap, and there's plenty of room on it. I enjoy it. One of my first big experiences on iRacing was the 12-hour event here. It's a well-loved place. It is, and it will give us good racing, and you always get good racing here. There's plenty of room, and we shall see close action, I think.
Yeah, well, to be honest, we always see close action in this series anyway. But yeah, for me, Sebring is a one of those tracks that I love racing on. I'm slow on every track, but I think it's got a very good rhythm to it, and some good overtaking opportunities. Stacey, Sebring, you've obviously seen Martin go round here. Has he ever let you have a go round here?
Can't remember if this is the track where I struggled with, but we won't talk about that. Everyone knows about that. But yeah, with this track, I like it for the pure reason is we're going to see lots of overtaking because there's plenty of room for it.
Yeah, I can't disagree with you there. So we have clicked over into the qualifying session. As usual, I'm having all sorts of difficulties going on here, which I'm trying to sort out. But a 15-minute open qualifying session. It's going to be interesting to see which of the teammates are working together. Getting the toe down the long straight and trying to get to the top of the leaderboard, Alan, because as I know you've watched many of this series, the races in this series, because the drivers are so evenly matched, it can sometimes be quite difficult to get an overtaking opportunity without actually forcing it.
Well, the track's helpful with that, Clyde. This track is a good track for overtaking. Yeah, it's going to be so much hangs on the first and the last corners on this track. If you can get around the first one, that's brilliant. It sets you up nicely, but it's very bumpy, and it's the same at the other end. If you don't get a really good entrance to the straight, you lose a lot of time. Coming around here, look at this. This is bumpy as anything, and if you don't get a good hold on the car, you're all over the place, and you've got to go flat out down here. Then you've got this really horrific entry to the to T1, which is wide. You've got to get in here, and you need to get close to this wall, and this is where I take my wing mirrors off normally. And then we swoop down here, and most people can go through there and traverse this with, it's very smooth. And after I've zigzagged my way through here and hanging on for grim death, I see everybody disappearing under the bridge, normally.
But yeah, like you say, it is an absolutely fantastic track. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but it is good.
Wrong.
So let's just have a quick look on the chat at the moment. So Pete Van Gool, welcome back, says, "You've got this, Alan." Martin Brennan apologising that he's not there, but he's still working. Martin Sampson, I'm here for Alan tonight. Go, Alan. Tyler Newitt, who should be at work, but is obviously watching what's going on here.
Well, that's fantastic.
Cheering for Adam to win Group 1 in the head-to-head. Martin Sampson, go Fatty. I reckon that must be Carl. Who else have we got on here? BSR TV. Not sure who that is, but they are saying go Wobbly. And evening also to Ramon Ratu. I'm gutted he's not come back to the series, but hopefully he will one day with his teammate. And Anthony Jacobson has just popped in with a hi all. Anthony Jacobson has just popped in with a... I think that was Alan's playback there. So interesting at the moment. GT4, Stefan Goebel leading the way. Rob Venn in second. Chris Needham in third. In TCRs, currently we have Spencer McCarthy leading the way. Mark Draper in second. And Gary Craig in third. So, one driver that stuck with the Veloster was, I believe it was it Shane Powell or was it Russell Cowell? One of those two. It must have been Shane Powell. Or Russell Cowell. Which one's which out of these two cars? I have no idea. That one's the Veloster.
This one is the new one.
That one is the Veloster. So, little story about the Veloster. On one of my trips to the States, my hire car was a Hyundai Veloster. And believe me, it looked nothing like that. It went nowhere near as quick as that. And it was the worst car I'd ever driven. But let's see how Shane gets round in it. Lots of chat on the forums and Discord that it is broken, doesn't handle its tyres as well as the other cars, but we'll wait and see what happens with it. Stacey, what do you think of the looks of that car? I shouldn't really ask you because you like BMWs.
Well, I think it looks a bit ugly, to be fair.
Yeah, so probably fitting for Shane to drive it then.
Got a pinched mouth, mean mouth.
Well, you know, this is my chance to get my own back on everybody that abuses me on every other platform. So they get
about
it
the
with both barrels. Yeah, so, you know, good mix. All of the cars, we have got all of the cars represented in TCR. However, there is no love for the BMW and there is no love for the McLaren in GT4. It's all Porsche and Aston. But to be fair, who wouldn't want an Aston?
Wow, that's very interesting though, isn't it?
I've been waiting for you to talk to me about this Aston Martin, and it looks absolutely beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, it certainly does, doesn't it? I don't actually think Aston make a bad car, if I'm honest. Looks wise, anyway.
I've never seen one.
they just have, I don't know, the lines are just right on them in my eyes. I don't know. You just, yeah, one day maybe. I'm probably too old to get in and out of one now, but yeah, it'd be look nice parked on the driveway, shall we say?
The right age of one now, though.
Pardon?
I said, are you not the right age for one of these now? It's always the old men that have got them.
Well, I'm the right age to insure one. I'm probably the right age to drive one. I'm just not the right age to get in and get out. That would probably be a one-way trip. But just looking at the iRacing figures on it, it is a 450 horsepower GT4 car. So plenty of oomph under that bonnet.
Yes, I've not really seen it close up before. It's a stunner. They sound so great as well. All the Astons
Yeah.
on iRacing sound great to me.
I think with cars these days, for me anyway, that they either look really good from the front or really good from the back. The car designers don't seem to be able to get both ends right. But I think Aston Martin do, and they do every time.
I think it's difficult with they're trying to make it aerodynamically sound, aren't they? And I think that puts quite severe limitations on what they can do these days.
Yeah, I agree, but you know, just look at the latest batch of BMWs. Stacey, even you've got to admit they are the ugliest looking cars on the road now.
100%. I mean, I've got to a point now where I would not buy a brand new BMW. No way.
Yeah, and that's believe it or not, folks, that's quite rich coming from Stacey, because she is a bit of a BMW fangirl deep down. So yeah,
Huge fan, but they've completely ruined them. I mean, whoever designed that front grille, even some of the rear of the cars are looking ugly too. So, I mean, I'm not surprised that no one's driving it now in any of these sim racing.
Yeah, very, very, very true. Evening to Marco Lawert on the chat, likes the window banners. Evening to Stephen Phillips, who is not in New York, Pete. He's saying the Chimera paint looks good. No, we don't. Do we like it, Sam? Has it got our name on it this season? Did I see? Oh, if
yeah, it's a perfect paint.
Yeah,
perfect paint.
Yeah.
It's been a while since they run all names, at least in all series. So
yeah, we like it now.
It's a very good paint, and I do know Jimmy put a lot of time into these liveries. With these chevrons, it's a pain in the ass. So
yeah, he did tell us, didn't he, that he'd spent many moons lining up stripes on these paints. So yeah, very good.
And I also like the fact that he puts the blue on Simon's car and the yellow on his ones. You've got it on the mirrors. You also have the small line at the bottom and around all the things. It looks sharp.
Yeah, but absolutely no help to us whatsoever, because we will still get the drivers mixed up. Right, so where are we? We have 90 seconds left in this qualifying session. Stefan Goebel still leads the way in his Porsche in GT4. Simon Trendle, who we was just looking at, is currently in second in an Aston, and Wobbly Kneecaps needs to get his finger out because he is currently third in an Aston. In TCR, last season's champ Sam Blees currently leads the way in his Elantra. Teammate Spencer McCarthy, who is in a Honda, I believe, he's not. They're not actually teammates this season. I think Spencer's on his own, but he's in second, and the leaderboard is upside down because it's telling me that Carl Hardy's in third. That can't be right. Surely not.
Exciting. I'm excited.
Surely not.
Alan,
Yes.
who's driving Cole's car tonight then?
Yeah, there's something funny going on there, isn't there?
Are we gonna call him Carl, not Carl? Just asking for a friend.
I haven't been to Sebring in real life, although it is on my bucket list, and I will do it in the first few years coming up. I'm not sure about the food stalls around Sebring, so as we know, if there are many food stalls around there, it means Carl Hardy won't be up there too much longer.
I'm looking
Checkers.
for the pile up, yes, at the end of D1.
Checkers are out, so drivers on a lap can finish their lap. Drivers who are not on a lap can't start a lap.
Wow.
So don't forget, folks, rolling starts in this series, which, to be honest, have been absolutely fantastic. TCR field tends to give the GT4 field plenty of room at the start, and I'm probably going to put the mockers on it yet and say they're usually quite clean. I'm going to regret that. We might have to rewind that at some point and dub it out. So we wait for the last of the drivers to finish their quali laps, if that's what they are on.
I think the start's going to be interesting, Clyde.
Oh, it's tight, isn't it? Look at that. Yes. There's plenty of room. It's wide, so...
Gonna try my hardest to get the grid up, but I am having many technical issues tonight. Do love the first race of a new season, because that's when it all goes wrong. So I'm going to shut that down and I'm going to fire it up again and see if that makes any difference whatsoever. Probably not. Because all I wanted was a grid.
Look at those times on the TCR. Goodness me, they're so close.
Okay, so here is your GT4 grid for round one. Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports takes pole position with a wobbly kneecaps. BSTV Esports Pink in second. Simon Trendle for Team Chimera in third. Chris Needham fourth. Rob Venn in fifth. Jamie Wilson sixth. Arnaud Chenonnier in seventh. Adam Wright in eighth. Rick Hedgehog in ninth. Kylie Haddington in 10th, and Ellis Stevens rounds out your GT4s in 11th place. Into TCR, Sam Blees, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing in first. Stephen Walker popped himself up into second for Spectre 6. Spencer McCarthy for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing in third. Yes, your eyes are not deceiving you. Carl Pies Hardy is in fourth. Fifth for Russell Cowell, Mark Draper in sixth. Michael Gray is in seventh with Gary Craig in eighth. Shane Powell is in ninth. Matt Elmore in 10th. Matt Flannery in 11th. Pete Bingham in 12th. David Ayres is 13th. Roger Morton is 14th. And JB Dejoux rounds out your field in 15th place. So we just wait for the last of the drivers to line up. And then the field will be moving. What is going on with my screen? Okay, so the pace car is underway. Take a good look at these cars when they come round, folks, because they may not look like this for much longer. As you can see, TCR's being very generous on the space. Whilst they're on their parade lap, I'm just going to attempt to make things better on my screen. means I'm going to make it worse.
That's why I'm not giving you any advice, Clyde. You just guarantee that.
Well, no, there's something going on, but it's not going to put me off. I am just going to do what I usually do and make it up as I go along.
Isn't it great to see Stefan at the front of the grid?
Stefan is a very, very quick driver. He is a consummate expert, usually, around the German tracks especially, and should really have a lot more wins to his name than he has at the moment.
Yes, good luck. It's always very nice when we're out practicing and he comes past me. That's how I go by people, really. You know, these gentlemen are really very gentlemanly on the track. They are. They're considerate drivers, but intensely competitive, of course.
Oh, without a doubt, yes.
This looks grand, doesn't it? Look at these bonny liveries.
Yeah, you know, these guys do put a lot of effort into making their cars look sexy.
Going in.
Okay, so pace car in. Round Sunset Bend. GT4s are about to go. I think Stefan's gone. And away we go for 60 minutes of some fantastic racing. Got jiggery pokery going on in the background. Wobbly kneecaps is going for the lead. And I think he's going to get it because he's on the right side of the track. He's there. Simon Trendle as well. Stefan drops down to third. Right, here we go with the buzzing Hornets. Oh, the Undertaker's binned it. See the Undertaker go round in the background. So Sam Blease holds on to the lead. Spencer McCarthy second. What's happened to Stephen Walker? He's dropping down the field. Carl Hardy up into third.
Need to be a bit careful with the cold tyres.
Yeah, I literally, as you were saying that, I saw the rear end of Simon Trendle's Aston Martin step out. Who have we got? Who's the rolling roadblock there? Is that Rob Venn? I think it is. So everybody gets themselves sorted out. Normally, we don't get too many opening lap heroics. Drivers tend to settle. Wow, I was just watching what happened to Stephen Walker. He's got a whole bunch, big bunch of understeer there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then lucky not to hit that wall. What happened to JB, Sam? He's all on his lonesome. Oh, he's just touched the brake as he hit the bump. Just sees his brake lights flicker.
I guess that's like what Alan was saying. Cold tyres, you've got to be careful.
Yeah, and that bend there, Stacey. So I can't remember if this is the track that you had to go on, but it is so bumpy. And if you're on the brakes and hit a bump, the rear end of that car is just going to go so light. So yeah, very unlucky there for JB. So good battle here, Michael Gray and Stephen Walker.
Look at that. Mr. Bingham's up a place as well.
Yeah, that ain't gonna last.
Have faith.
We're rooting for Pete. Come on.
Well, you know, you're going to have to stop saying things like that, Alan. Otherwise, your commentating career is going to be very short.
Hang on a minute. Clyde, I want to know why Wobbly's driving your car. I've just seen his sunstrip.
No. We've got Pete and Wobbly have both changed their names by deed poll.
They do look nice though. Those window banners look grand, don't they?
Yes, they do.
They, you know,
They're
they're. You're quite right. I mean, a gold window banner that's got a considerable amount of kudos in this group of drivers. It is worth fighting for. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
They look good. And those gold ones are brilliant.
Yeah,
Great
it's
idea.
hopefully like I don't know, a badge of honour type thing
Yes,
for
yeah,
these
great
drivers.
idea.
So
Yes,
Cole,
indeed.
he's trying to defend there. Needs to defend and be a bit wider.
well, do you know what? I after all of the negativity around the Veloster, I think it's going quite well. So Sam just resetting the paint pack because we had a few issues. Which is strange because it's good on my screen.
Well, if you change it locally, it's normal. But if you don't upload it for everybody else, it's not gonna
No,
work.
I literally downloaded the paint pack that I uploaded about 2 seconds before the session started.
Yeah, it's the third time I reset the paint pack since we started the broadcast and it's not working, so I don't know.
Okay. Well, you can't beat a few race 1 gremlins, can you? Evening to Mick Barry on the chat. A calming voice there, Sir Alan. So he's brought along all his supporters.
Good evening, Michael. Oh, very nice that you're out and joined us.
So
Look at that. Did you see that?
Well, Pete
Got
Pete's
past
going-
David.
Yeah, but he'd gone backwards a little bit.
Oh,
He was up to 9th at one point, but yeah, he's dropped back like Clyde said he would. It's a bit mean.
No, I just tell the truth. Talking about truths, if you want to hear a funny one. So I remember quite a while back now when Alan Toon signed up for one of our series, and I can't remember if it was David Ayres or whether it was Carl Hardy, and I said to him, what's this Alan's name then? And they went, Alan Toon. I said, yeah, I know he's a Newcastle fan, but what's his real surname? And they're like, no, it is Alan Toon. I thought, oh, right. So, on that theme, I think we should call all your supporters on the chat, Alan, the Toon Army.
oh dear.
So
Yes, wow.
we will be opening up memberships to the Toon Army for a very small fee in the coming weeks.
Or even a very large fee.
Very large fee, depending on what Alan is drinking at the time. Okay, so let's have a look at what's going on in this race then, shall we? Because that's what we're here for. So Sam Glees, Spencer McCarthy. Who else? We've still got Carl Hardy up there. We've still got Russell Cowell. We've got Gary Craig, Mark Draper, and I think Michael Gray on the back of this lead 7-car train. Stephen Walker in a little bit of fresh air, and then we go back to Matt Elmore. Let's have a look at GT4s, please, Sam. So we've got Wobbly Kneecaps leading the way, Simon Trendle chasing him down. Nice to see Stefan Goebel has got up to pace, maybe just struggling a little bit in the Porsche on the cold tyres, and champ Chris Needham up there as well, looking to bag a nice big haul of paints. Paints? Sam, stop sending me messages about paint. Points.
He did very well last season, didn't he? He really came on, and I was following him a bit. I was giving him some support. So he was really trying hard and doing well.
Yeah, I mentioned it numerous times. There's a good battle going on here. There's Matt Flannery in there, Pete Bingham's in there, Roger Morton, is he in there? No, it's David Ayres, sorry.
David.
But
They
it's
won't be
Roger on the
giving-
back of them.
Well, they're all scrappers.
To be honest, Alan, I think all of them in this series are scrappers. Every single point they get in this series, they earn. Just going back to whatever it was we was talking about that I honestly can't remember now because I'm old and decrepit. It was Chris Needham. Yes, I mentioned a number of times last season that although Chris Needham wasn't up there running away, winning races, it was the consistency that won him the championship. He was there and he scored big points in most rounds, and that's how you take away wins in these closely fought series.
Sure. Turning up and finishing is a large part of any race.
Yeah, that's right. What was the old saying? To finish first you must finish. So good to see JB Dejoux has got going again.
Yes. Very nice gentleman.
Okay, so Andrew Hoffman has joined the chat. He's now off of my Christmas card list as well because he's cheating. He's chanting for Pete. We're not having any of that as Simon Trendle takes the lead from Wobbly Kneecaps in GT4. Now, what we are not sure on this season is the fuel usage. Whoa! Simon's going to need a ticket to get back in. Simon very, very wide there. Turn 1 gives the lead back to Wobbly Kneecaps. What I was going to say is we're not quite sure on the fuel usage on these cars. Now, we know Sebring is a track, especially with that long back straight, that you can save some fuel. So it might be that people don't want to run in first place at the moment. Ambitious there from Mr. B.
He's itching to get past, isn't he?
Yeah. David Ayres is not... Sorry, Stacey, go on.
I was just going to ask Alan about where he thinks he may be in this race, because I heard that he was actually smashing out the laps last night and did really well.
Well, I would be at the back. It's my traditional position, especially with these chaps. As a guest, I've established my position in this group, and it's firmly at the rear. But
Are
the
you
difference is,
sure? People were
yeah,
saying you were doing
yes,
really well and you were smashing out really good times.
yes. I think they were delusional. They're full of goodwill towards me, and I do appreciate it. But I'm generally in this company at the back, and it's they've got just too much pace. There's too much intensity for an hour-long race for me to keep up. Simple as that. Yeah. And they're all very, very good drivers, and I'm an MX5 driver at heart.
Well, as they say, Alan, somebody's got to be at the back.
Yes, I don't mind. To me, it's absolutely irrelevant. I couldn't care less. To me, it's all about the racing and the driving and the taking part. Absolutely. If I worried about position, I'd be in a terrible state, wouldn't I? I really don't care. I like to be on the track, and I love being a part of the community. It's a hugely important part of my life now. In the last 3 years, it's just become a very important thing to me. Yeah, so
And this is why you've got lots of Sir Alan Toon fans out there, because you're such a nice guy, Alan, and that's why everyone's here tonight to cheer you on.
yeah, they do me great honour. I'm really fortunate, I've been really cared for a lot by people, and yeah, it's grand. Honestly, it's grand to be at the heart of this community. iRacing is a pretty amazing place. It seems to attract a lot of really very nice people. Of course, we've all got a huge common interest, because you have to invest to be on this track in these races. You've got to be investing time and quite a lot of money. So people really are serious. They're serious. They want to have a good time, and they want to race hard.
Well, this we was just seeing on screen the GT4 battle. I know Sam has switched back to TCRs, but look at this. This is really closed up. So Chris Needham has got past Stefan Goebel into thirds. Rob Venn is putting a lot of pressure on Stefan Goebel, and all of that is allowing Jamie Wilson and not too far behind him Adam Wright to close up on this lead group. It's so good. I know, Stacey, you've been with us through the lean times in GT4, where there was a bit of a TCR takeover, but so good to see 11 of these GT4 cars on the track, and the racing being so close.
Oh, this is brilliant. I mean, as soon as you switched on to see how many cars were there, I was like, oh wow, there's loads. So yeah, it's really good to see.
Yes.
Yeah, look, Chris Needham, he's put one on wobbly there. Not sure, he should be able to hold it. He should get a bit of run off from here. Yeah, he did. We'll cover him off, but don't battle too hard, guys, because you'll let Simon disappear. Ooh, Rob Venn put one on Stefan Goebel there. And look at this battle. This is Stephen Walker, Michael Gray, and is it Mark Draper? I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, Mark Draper's in the council paint. Steady, boys. It's not that much room on that exit.
Certainly cozying up there.
Yeah, some interesting little groups playing out in TCR at the moment. Lots of little 3-car battles apart from that big lead group.
Oh, these three are brilliant.
But this, we know, I know, we shouldn't really blow our own trumpets or blow the drivers' trumpets at that. But this is what this series is all about. And this is what this series has had from season 1. Is close quarters racing all the way through the pack. None of this running around on your own, looking at the scenery, being crashing because planes are taken up at Daytona and things like that. This is what it's all about. And obviously iRacing have helped by bringing out lots of cars for the series.
Yes. Spectacular.
Do we have any idea what's happened to Pete?
Yeah, he's just Pete. he's just slow and rubbish. Let me have a look back through the event viewer.
I can end the poll.
What
the
was the
answer.
poll?
Yep.
Oh,
70% of people said Pilt would crash on this first race, and you were right. There it is.
oh, that's not a crash. That's
So,
not a crash. Not
yeah.
an incident.
It's crashed enough.
Yeah, viewers, give yourself a big round of applause.
Let's see.
Oh,
No.
That'd be no
no,
bell.
No, he was pushed. So that's not
Push.
Pete's fault there.
No, not even that. No.
A racing incident.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he did have some help, but still.
Was that Matt Flannery?
Good question.
I think it could
No
have
sending
been.
him a sausage roll.
I think, yeah, that was Matt.
Yeah, so we'll have a whip round at the end of the race, and there will be a brown envelope making its way to Matt. Andrew Hoffman says he's off to the bookies to collect. Evening
Look
to
at
Bob
this.
Woodhouse, one
Side
of
by
our V8
side through
drivers.
there. Goodness me.
Yeah, that is Shane Powell and Matt Elmore.
These guys are having a
Was.
great time, aren't they? You can see it. Look at the time they're having out there. Does make you want to go out there and race, doesn't it? Doing this. Goodness me.
Carl Hardy's still up there in fourth.
Come on,
There's
Carl.
obviously not many food stalls open yet.
It's a great drive by him, isn't it? I can't believe he's actually holding Gary off.
I would dearly like to see Carl Hardy put a season together and just see where he can finish.
For people who don't know, of course, I'm a resort driver. They're my family, and Cole's my captain. So I'm totally unbiased, except where the resort drivers are concerned. Is that fair?
We're totally unbiased as well. We just, we hate all the BSTV drivers.
Oh, even Gary.
Even Gary, even Gary.
Poor Gary.
Because Gary is a cyclist. Not many people know that, and he's probably going to go down in a lot of people's opinions now. But yeah, he's one of them lycra-clad weirdos.
Well, I didn't reveal the fact that I was a very
Oh, here we go. I'm spinning around. It had to happen. It had to happen. Even though Kylie himself said, not this season, pal. It started. Round one, spin one. Michael Gray and Stephen Walker. So who is that? That is Jason Haddington. Now has Ellis Stevens up behind him. These two still at it. Matt Elmore, Shane Powell.
Well, Mr. Stevens was a gentleman who invited me into league racing.
I've known Ellis for many years. Nice bloke deep down, and has put a hell of a lot into the iRacing community, especially on the UK side of things.
Yeah. Well, yes, it was his invitation that took me from being an aimless, not meeting anybody in the official races to becoming a league racer, and it actually changed my life.
Yeah, he dabbles in and out of our series. I think he's probably been in every series that we've ever done, but I can't ever remember him completing a season. And interestingly, Martin Brennan agrees with me. Gary has gone down in his estimation.
Oh,
I was assuming it was very high in the first place, of course.
Well, yeah. I suppose there's only so far you can go down, isn't there? Really. This is a tough turn. You can see the cars bouncing round the bumps.
Really?
IndyCar is a very, very funny car to drive around that turn.
Oh, crikey, I wouldn't fancy that. That sounds like a bouncy nightmare.
So, Jamie Wilson now. So this group have split a little bit. I'm wondering if Rob has maybe taken a bit too much out of his tyres. Stefan Goebel.
Oh.
Sorry, not Rob. I meant Adam. What happened to Stefan there, Sam? Did he have a wheel on the grass? Let's have a look. Oh no, I think he just tried to avoid. I think it was Rob in front of him.
Yeah. Just couldn't get slowed down, could he?
So there's Rob still in 4th place, but a little bit of a gap now to the 3 cars up front. Simon Trendle, a lot of wobbly kneecaps, and Chris Needham. Adam Wright desperately trying to get involved in this Venn-Wilson battle. So we are coming up on 25 minutes. Could be very interesting pit strategies this season. I know there's been a hell of a lot of pre-season testing going on. I'm hearing that the tyre life seems to have been extended in these cars this season. So it could be more about how much fuel you can save during the race and how much you can shorten your pit stop. Could be a way to get big points this season. Tyler on the chat saying easily done what Stefan did. The Porsche is already good on the brakes. People tend to brake early in a train like that. Yeah, can't disagree there. Stephen Walker getting past Gary Craig. So not only could Gary not get past Carl Hardy, but he's now lost a position to Stephen Walker.
he must be ill. This is not Gary's. It's not Gary's night, is it?
No.
He's definitely out of position for sure. He should be a lot higher than he is. So something's not quite right there unless it's car setup.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it the Honda? But it's clearly not, because Spencer McCarthy driving one in second. Carl Hardy and Stephen Walker in front of Gary are both in Hondas. Right, so Jamie Wilson, Rob Venn, Adam Wright on their tail. Now, turn one there, Alan was saying when we was in the qualifying session, as Jamie gets that move done, there are so many different lines that you can take. I know a lot of people like that wide sweeping line. I can't do that. I just end up washing out into that bit of dirt that we see Simon Trendle in near the start of the race. I'm like Alan. I like to take my wing mirrors off. Oh, David Ayres. That doesn't look like it's going to tee-cut out. Let's see what he did. Looks like he's all on his lonesome. Oh, that was weird. turned and then stopped turning.
I reckon that's an internet issue.
Yeah, there's certainly a bit of understeer involved in that. As hang on.
Ooh.
That's why.
Ouch.
Need to see that again. Yeah, that's a hard one to call.
Oh.
There was certainly a bit of solid air involved in that.
It's like Rob came out of that better out of the three of them.
Yeah, certainly it's dropped. James gets run into the pit.
Doesn't touch him, does he?
No, there's a lot of solid air there.
Yeah, there's like a place to put myself in that, and that's a strong word.
Yeah, you know that solid air that they've fixed.
Well, don't say that. Tyler will correct you. It's not that what they fixed, but
Yeah, but you know,
Tyler, I did not took it wrong. But I do know what netcode is. Don't worry.
So Jamie Wilson ended up in the pits. Adam Wright ended up in the pits, and we know David Ayres is in the pits after seeing him crash. So coming up on halfway, this is Matt Flannery trying to get past Roger. Last minute sign up Morton.
Yes, delighted that Roger's joined us again this season. This was humming and hawing a bit, but
obviously Roger being a real life racer means he can't really commit to the full season, because I'm sure he's going to be fairly busy with real racing soon. Gary Craig enters the pits. He is the first to blink in TCR.
I thought Carl might have been in, or has he just been overtaken?
I think he's just been overtaken, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's still up there in fourth.
Yes, and it's Stephen after all, you know. So
It says 5th on my screen.
Yeah, it's fifth, but you know, it's Clyde, so cannot read numbers.
Mine's just updated itself to fifth.
Yeah, good excuse. Oh, Adam, come on.
You would not believe the issues I'm having with SDK tonight. That is Adam Wright coming out of the pits on cold tyres.
I can believe you though, because I sometimes have the same issues.
Yeah.
oh, did they take tyres?
I would have thought so. The guys do have a free repair in this series. Interestingly, we have a massive bunch of GT4s just come into the pits. Simon Trendle, Chris Needham, Rob Venn, Stefan Goebel, Arno Chanonier. Wobbly kneecaps stayed out.
Stefan's on the jacks.
In fact, Jason Haddington and Rick Hedgehog have also joined them. So, wobbly kneecaps, Ellis Stevens stay out. Everybody else in GT4 has been in the pits. I would assume we will see Wobbly and Ellis in this time round. Okay, Stephen Walker, Carl Hardy, Michael Gray, Shane Powell, all in the pits in TCR. So it is pit stop time, and we will see the repercussions of these pit stops very, very shortly.
Roger's in. Hit the field a bit.
Yeah, the pit stops tend to bring the field back together. Wobbly is in. So that will be one to watch. Where does Wobbly come out in relation to Simon and Chris, who were closest to him on track? And there is Ellis, last to pit in GT4s. Simon Trendle comes round Sunset. Wobbly still stationary now. He's moving now. You see Simon coming.
Come on, Wobbly.
I think Simon is going to get this. Maybe. Is he going to have the speed?
Come on, Wobbly.
It's got cold tyres.
Yeah, Simon's got that inside track, but then it goes to the outside.
Yes, go on, Wobbly.
Then back to the inside, and then it's a drag race.
Really, he shouldn't win the drag race with his cold tyres. But it's got the inside here.
Yeah, that battle's not done and dusted yet, believe me.
Oh, awesome.
So, Alan, when you've just come out the pits, you've got cold tyres, you know you're going to have a battle on your hand. Are you literally gritting your teeth trying to hold on because there isn't enough grip, or would you have some grip when you're coming out?
People get caught out by the transition. You go into the pits with steamy, warm, hot, sticky tyres, and you come out and they're cold, of course. And it's the transition that you think you're ready, and you think you're being careful, but you just get caught out because they fail on the grip and they just spin you around. It's normally a spin or something like that. Of course, if you're in among other traffic, that can lead to problems for lots of people.
Well, Carl Hardy's lost a couple of positions after that round of pit stops, so maybe the crew passed him a hot dog?
Yes. Don't know what happened there. Mind you, Resort aren't notorious for being great at pit stops generally. We're not. But yeah, it's unfortunate to see Carl slipping down the table of that.
Well, we're used to seeing these two up front. So Sam Blees, winner of the TCR Championship last season. Spencer McCarthy, winner of the TCR head-to-head last season. And they're going at it again.
Yes. I think they should close up a bit. That's a great deal of trust there, isn't it?
Yeah, and, to be fair to these two, who, like I say, although same stable this season, they're not in the same team, there was, nothing held back last season. They raced each other. So, I expect that they're going to race each other this season and in this race, and hopefully that lets Stephen Walker, Russell Cowell, Gary Craig, Mark Draper, Carl Hardy close the gap on them.
Great shot of the bumps coming up the bridge there. Wasn't that fantastic? You could see the cars getting chucked about. It's really, you can almost feel it, when you go around there. It's like it's right through the steering, and you're bouncing. It's amazing. But yes, Potentially quite hairy, and I'm with you. I like that inside line. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Get your wing mirror off on that wall, and
Yes.
then you know you're close enough.
Yes, because like you, I visited the dirt on the side quite a lot.
So this is the battle for the GT4 win with 37.5 minutes gone. So we assume these cars are fueled enough that they can go to the end. So it is just flat out racing.
Lap times are still close.
Yeah, Chris Needham would like to see these two side by side because that will close him up into the battle. He's a little bit off at the moment, not too much.
He's just out of the draft, isn't he? Get into the toe a little bit, will be fine. I think he's not getting dropped.
Yeah, I think he's probably just in it, isn't he? Well, he's closed up there for definite, so yeah.
Oh, that grass is dangerous there.
So, Gary Craig, who are you battling with? You are battling with Mark Draper for 5th place. Carl Hardy has dropped another place to Michael Gray now.
Yes, Carl's going backwards, but Gary's moving up, isn't he?
Maybe Carl's run out of steam.
More like you run out of pies. Yeah. He's run out of pastry.
I used to make pork pies, Andre's pork pies, back in the day.
You're going to
He
get an
would have
order
loved
from
them.
Carl now when he listens back to this.
There we go. There's the side to side that Chris Needham wanted to see. I get the feeling, and maybe it's something to do with the toe, that those two can pass each other at will.
Well, yeah, there is good toe at this circuit, of course. Nice straights and things. It's wide, so yeah, you can take advantage of it.
Yeah, Shane Powell still throwing that Velociraptor around in front of Matt Elmore.
I'm an absolute master of almost getting past using the toe.
Almost. Okay, so evening to Chris Jackson on the chat and also Charles Kellyman.
My friend Charles.
Another potential subscriber to the Toon Army.
Clyde, have we got many missing tonight that will be joining probably the next few rounds?
Martin. There's
Anyone
one.
else?
Who are we missing? Hang on, and let me use one of my other screens to have a look. Entry lists. So, who are we missing in GT4? Nobody. Who are we missing in TCR? Ollie Ricks isn't here, is he?
No, not tonight.
Andrew Littler isn't here. So they're the only two. So there's only 3 cars missing at the moment. But as in, with previous seasons, we get this hardcore of drivers that have been with us a few seasons and know how good the racing is. I need to stop and look at this for a minute. This is looking really, really good. And then people who watch the broadcasts think, well, I'd like to go at that. I know a lot of the guys that do the official series are constantly chatting other drivers up, shall we say, saying, you need to come and join this league. It's really, really good. So we do tend to get a little bit of a growth spurt, over the next couple of weeks. So, we could definitely see some more cars on the grid.
More the merrier, I think.
Definitely, Alan. Agree with you there, mate.
Yeah, you won't get better racing than this. I've watched lots of
better?
racing, It's lots of competitive racing. This is really good drivers giving each other room to race. It's very nice to see.
Is it better than your MX-5, though, Alan?
Nothing's better than that, sweetie.
I thought you might say that.
But I do like TCRs.
These two are still going at it.
Well, that car's doing acquitting itself well, do you not think?
I do. I know a lot of people bashed it. A lot of people that had signed up in it, wanted to change this week into something else. But I think Shane Powell is he's doing quite well in it.
Shane's quick though, so he's going to give it a chance, isn't he?
But this is a cracking battle. This is Mark Draper, Gary Craig, Michael Gray, and I was going to say Carl, but I think he's even dropping off the back of this group now. Something going on there.
He must have damage, perhaps.
Could just be that attention span.
Nice to see Mr. Draper back on the track.
Yeah, Mark has been one of those that has dipped in and out of this series. Hopefully it's more in than out now. Absolutely rapid driver.
Yes.
Past champion of the series as well. That was a little bit wide there, Michael.
Gave chance for Cole to catch up a bit there.
Yeah, not a lot of grip out on the grass. Tyler is convinced that Shane and Matt are just overtaking each other for screen time. Wobbly and Simon.
What's Tyler's excuse for not being here tonight then?
Work. He's running the sex cult full time. He can't race midweek because he's at work, but he's still racing in V8s. And obviously to everybody watching who fancy something different, we've got an open wheel series starting in April with the fantastic new iRacing Formula IR04. We have called it the Alt F4 Championship. Have a look on our website, sign up, it's going to be a lot of fun. There's even a nasty rumour going around that Sam might race in it.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes. People are talking about it. A couple of people have mentioned it to me, so the word's getting out there about this. Well,
we've never done an open wheel championship, so we're looking forward to it. Not that I've tried it, but I'm told the car is an absolute animal. It's really, really well made, and a lot of fun to drive. So, yeah, hopefully we get plenty of sign-ups for that. First race is on April the 23rd, so plenty of time to sign up. Chris Jackson, how was your trip, Clyde? Well, you know, it was 31 degrees. You know, there was lots of steak and ribs and things like that. So, yeah, pretty crap, to be honest.
Just the usual.
In fact, it was that bad, I've already paid for next year, accidentally.
Nice.
They look forward to.
Right, who is that in the background?
Who's
That is
who's-
Jamie Wilson. Sorry, I just looked at the stripy Aston, thought it was Simon, and where's Wobbly gone? But it's not. It's Jamie Wilson recovering after that forced pit stop. So, still at it. Draper, Craig, Gray, with Hardy watching on.
Still hanging on though, so that's a bit more encouraging.
Well, what I like about these cars, and it might not be the cars, it might be the talent of the drivers, but they can dart in and out, you know, without losing traction and things like that. You know, you can do the old, you know, making yourself big in the mirror of the car in front and feigning left, feigning right, trying to put them off. So yeah, it you know, it is. They are very, very good.
Yes. Yeah.
And Tyler's just pointed out that Simon has now dropped back a bit from wobbly, possibly had a slowdown on the back straight.
Yeah,
Because
he
the
did fell
front
back
wheel
a little bit,
drive.
and now he's back on. Sorry, Alan.
It's because the front wheel drive. You know, they can affect they're famous for their turning. You know, they're turning because you know they've got all that weight and all the turning forces on the front wheels, and so for that kind of intimidatory driving, where you want to look big in the mirror, they're excellent. People have been doing it to me quite a lot for a long time now. Sadly, not for very long because they normally affect a rapid overtake. But yes, it's.
I was going to say, surely for someone to look big in your mirror, that means you're in front of somebody.
Yes, it's normally a short-lived enterprise. Probably following some kind of minor incident for the other chap.
So I don't know where the time in this race has gone. I've just looked up at the clock and seen we've got less than 10 minutes to go. Just seen Ellis Stevens in the pit as well. Perhaps he didn't put enough fuel in the car, being new to the series.
Well, he's back out, so.
And let's just have a look at the pit stop time. Yeah, it wasn't a long stop, so that to me was a fuel top up, maybe.
Right, splash dash. Yes, because he's a canny driver. When it comes to this stuff, I mean, he's been around iRacing for a real time. He knows his stuff, doesn't he, about this?
He certainly does. Yes, taught me a lot about it, to be honest. We've just seen there on the screen, Spencer McCarthy has pulled a little bit of a gap on Sam Blease, and Stephen Walker is now putting Sam Blease under some pressure. Meanwhile, up the front, Simon Trendle is back in the wheel tracks of wobbly kneecaps. And they are at a great rate dumping Chris Needham.
Yes. surprised to see Chris drop off the pace like that.
Yeah. So it's still 8 minutes to go. He can't afford to drop off too much because Stefan Goebel and Rob Venn will be on him. So Jamie Wilson carefully picking his way through these battling TCRs. We should see him pull out. Oh no, hang on. He's not going to pull out now. Michael Gray getting past Gary Craig. Gary not having a good night of it tonight.
Perhaps it's not his track. Some drivers have tracks that
that's very, very, very true. I do believe from talking to Gary, he does like the tight, twisty tracks, whereas this is more open and flowing. And also, you know, the class of the field in both classes, you know, the talent that's on show. You know, you finish in that top 10, as I said before, you know, the points you get, you bloody well earned them. It's not easy to get good results in this series.
for sure.
Simon now starting to put Wobbly under a lot of pressure. He wants that win. Obviously, Simon won Season 6. He was the Season 6 champion in GT4. Then decided to take a season off for some unknown reason. Perhaps he was just fed up with beating Jamie. And now he's back. Maybe it was the sound and looks of the Aston that brought him back. That is Matt Flannery going past Pete Bingham. Probably not the first or the last time we will say that this season.
I think you'll find Pete still in front of him.
Is he really? Damn. Come on, Matt, get your finger out.
In fact, it's the other way around. Pete is made overtake on Matt.
Rule 1 in this series is do not get beaten by Pete Bingham. Right, this is hot up the front now in TCR. Stephen Walker fancies this.
Oh, a bit of a nudge there.
Yeah, it was a racing nudge. There was an apology. That's just hard and fair racing for me. So we've got a battle on. There's less than 5 minutes. There's a battle for the lead in GT4. There's a battle for the lead in TCR.
I really like that Audi that and the livery on JB's car.
It's you certainly wouldn't lose it, would you?
No, it looks good on the Audi.
It's nice to see the Audi still running. The original TCR. Sometimes the originals get left behind, but no, it's still going.
I think they updated it, didn't they, Clyde?
They did. Yeah.
I believe they did a good job because David really liked it still. Tensions like ratcheted up a notch. Really.
Yeah. I was just going to say I would expect JB, knowing what a gentleman racer he is, to move out of the way, and he duly did.
That's a fine sight, isn't it? And that's straight.
Well, yeah, and this could be very handy for Sam because the GT4 leaders are catching the TCR leaders. So we may not have to keep switching between cameras. We may get to that point where we can see everything in one screen. So Wobbly and Jamie seem to be swapping the lead on every corner at the moment.
Yeah, Simon, but yeah.
This race has got some pedigree, hasn't it? When you think of the drivers over the last seasons since you got started, there's been some great drivers, haven't there?
I think we're going to get one more after this one.
It's gonna be tight, but I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think they just got across the line in time, providing they don't do too much side by side. But again, you know, is this like some of the like Daytona? Do you want to be second on the final lap and use that toe down the back straight? Get the move done into sunset, no coming back.
Here replaced to be overtaking.
Well, these two have definitely dropped Sam Blease, but he is in a safe third position. Spencer McCarthy goes defensive.
Ooh.
Somebody remove that gnat's pube from between their cars.
It's tight, isn't it?
Oh,
Isn't it?
come on, boys. Come on.
It's not the
Play
first time
fair.
we see people in the fence there battling for position.
Oh,
It's a wide track, but not that wide. Right, I am watching the race countdown. I still think they're going to get across the line. They most certainly are. With about 10 seconds to spare. So this is the final lap brought to you by the Bank of Mum and Dad.
it's nice to see Wobbly working so hard.
Yeah. Ooh, Simon had a big twitch then. They
This could
desperately
go-
want these TCRs out of the way.
This could go horribly wrong because they're both battling. Oh, I don't think I've watched
Oh,
this.
it's straight.
No, it's all right. There's driver chat. They're telling each other where they're going. They've got a Velociraptor in the way now. He tells him he's going left. Simon needs to make that move as well. Needs to be on Wobbly's tail going into the back straight to have any chance of getting past him. And then there's another. Oh, steady, boys. Oh.
Goodness. Oh,
And quite rightly, a flash of the lights.
Right, here we go. Here we go. Onto the fight. Sam Blease is back in this. Oh, they're still. Oh! They're going to give the win to Sam Blease if they carry on.
oh.
Oh, no. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
We certainly can.
Right, because I can't see anything. All my screens have gone black.
Oh, you're missing a good race.
Oh, no, it's back. I'm back. I'm going to have to turn the stream off, I think. See if that stabilises it. So, Wobbly kneecaps
What a race.
Wobbly Kneecaps takes the round 1 win in GT4. TCR is still at it.
I really thought they were going to take each other out.
Well, they certainly don't mind trading a bit of paint, do they, these two? And to be honest, I don't think they'd have it any other way. Right.
Oh, is that an alert?
This is it. Coming
Now
up
or
now.
never?
Big right.
Right. Who gets the best run? Stephen Walker, in fairness, right, they're rubbing now, but Stephen Walker could have run him out onto the grass there. Now Sam Blease is saying, I'll tell you what, let's take it 3 wide, shall we, into sunset. Who's going to lose out? Stephen Walker dips out of it. He's going to try the sweep and the run.
Tom's got a great line.
He has. He's getting. Sam Blease is going to take this win from nowhere.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Oh, that was absolutely fan-bloody-tastic.
Wow, that's how to do sunset.
That was, oh, well, yeah, amazing.
What a race. That's a great start to the season. Goodness me.
Right, I desperately need to try and get the stream back up.
That was brilliant. Sam Blease was like, I'll have first. Thank you very much. Goodbye.
Yeah, half a lap before that, he was out of it. Absolutely amazing. Right.
Well deserved win.
Oh, yeah. Alan, let's start with you. How did you enjoy your first broadcast?
Oh, well, let me get my breath back. That was, yes.
You don't get time for breathing in this series, believe me.
Crikey. Yes. Great race. Enjoyed that a lot. Being in the booth is such an honour for me, even though there's a bit of a draft through that door, you know.
Yeah, that's we have to have big doors, otherwise we can't get Sam in. Stacey, I take that you enjoyed that race.
I really, really did. That's brilliant. There was battles all through the field there. That was just really good fun to watch.
Okay, so we'll just wait for Sam to get our official finishing grid up. And we say that because sometimes drivers manage to go over the 15 incident point limit on the last lap. And then iRacing gives them a time penalty. So just because they cross the line in a certain position doesn't mean that's where they finish. But our official GT4 finishing order is Wobbly Kneecaps for BSTV Sports Pink, taking home the win in GT4. Simon Trendle fought him all the way for Team Chimera in second. And Chris Needham bags the big points again for RWC Racing Red in third. Stefan Goebel recovered to fourth position. Rob Venn in fifth. Arnaud Chenonnier in sixth. Kylie Haddington in seventh. Rick Hedgehog in 8th, Jamie Wilson in 9th, Adam Wright in 10th, and Ellis Stevens comes home 11th. Into TCR, so we saw it firsthand there. Sam Blease for Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing Black takes home the win in round 1 in TCR. Spencer McCarthy, Alpine Stars Geodesic Racing White in second, and Stephen Walker for Spectre 6 in third. Fourth place was Russell Cowell, fifth was Mark Draper. Gary Craig came home in sixth, Michael Gray in seventh. Carl Hardy dropped to 8th after a good early showing. Shane Powell in 9th. Matt Elmore in 10th. Matt Flannery on his debut in 11th. Pete Bingham in 12th. Roger Morton in 13th. 14th was JB Dejoux. And rounding out your field was David Ayres in 15th. Right, so let's see if any of these drivers want to talk to us. And normally when I say that, it's all of them. Okay, so we have got a massive waiting room. Let's bring in the kneecap himself and winner of round 1 in GT4. Wobbly Kneecaps, welcome to the booth.
Thank you. Woo, Stacey.
So, I'll tell you what, Stacey, I'll let you do this interview as there's a little bit of a romance going on here.
Yeah, obviously.
Behave yourself. Well done, Wobbly. That was an awesome win out there, and such a good drive out there from you, chopping and changing throughout the race. You felt back, a few spots, but of course you put on a good show, and you showed you got the pace again to win. Tell me more about the race.
Yeah, it was a really fun race. I saw the gap on Stefan in the first corner, and I was like, I have to go for that. And then I saw Sami behind me, and from previous seasons, I know he's just fuel saving. He's better at fuel saving than me. So the second time I ran wide on Sunset was kind of planned, but I didn't expect Chris to come by as well. So it was a kind of a misjudgment. So I had to get by Chris again, and the whole first stint was just about saving. And then the second stint with Simon was amazing. It was really good. We had a ton of some fun, and side by side half the lap, and oh man, I'm sweating my ass off. This was a hard work.
That was one of the comments that was made tonight, that you actually had to work for your win tonight, so you could see you were putting in, a huge fight there. Yeah, I thought that was really good. Really pleased for you, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I mean, Simon is a really good driver as well, so I'm happy to have him back in the league. And I have one general comment, by the way. Clyde, you told me you had my paint.
Did I?
Yes.
Don't remember saying that. There are a number of issues that we've identified tonight with the paint pack, but to be fair, normally on the first race we get that out of the way, find the problems, and get it ready for the second race. So don't worry about it too much. I might even put you a special one in. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, that would be great. And by the way, I really enjoyed having Alan in the booth. I heard a couple of his things, his stories. So I'm driving with the lad on Sunday as well, and it's really good to have you in the booth, Alan.
Oh, thank you, Wobbly. And I think your car actually looks quite slinky in black. It's quite sexy, that car. The lines of it really, yeah.
Yeah, I want to
tonight. Fantastic.
I really want to
see you racing so hard.
Yeah, it was good. It was a really fun one. And I want to thank Adam because he's a knobhead and is really slow and is actually driving backwards on pace. I promised him I would thank him.
Excellent. Well, any more shout outs you want to give, or was it just Alan and Adam tonight?
No, Stacey.
Thank you, mate.
Go.
Oh, that's about it.
I've got a bit of sick in the back of my throat now. Hang on. Wobbly, she's not really a stripper. Anyway, so Wobbly Kneecaps, congratulations on your first win of season 8, and we'll see you next time out.
Yeah, cheers.
Okay, so next up, I'm going to interview winner of round 1 in TCR, Sam Blees. Welcome to the booth.
Hello, thank you for having me.
So, we've left off, or we've started where we left off last season. You was out of that with a lap to go, weren't you?
Yeah. That was amazing. Yeah, Stephen and Spencer at the end. That was just such good racing. And yeah, I thought 2 or 3 laps to go, because when Stephen came past me, I got a slowdown.
Right.
I ended up sort of 2 seconds back, about 3 laps left, and I thought that was it. I thought it was third.
And yeah, there was a. To be fair, you know, you guys, you know, yourself and Spencer. You know, I said it in the broadcast. I know you're in theory in different teams this season, but last season, you know, when you was fighting for the team championship together, there was still no holds barred, was there? You know, you guys still raced, and maybe a little bit more intensity between you two this season, being in different teams under the same stable.
Yeah, I think so. I think that, and you know, we'll have different setups because it's different cars as well, so we'll be strong in different parts. It will make, like before, we know each other's driving style so well. If we're in the same car and on the same setup, like we often were, you quite often know there's no pass viable, like apart from just doing something stupid.
Yeah.
But now we've got different strengths. It's more likely we're going to be able to battle for a few laps, I think. So that's going to be good. Looking forward to that as well.
Well, that bodes well for the rest of the season. Obviously, still enjoying it. You know, like I say, the racing again was absolutely fantastic from you guys. So plenty more of that to come throughout the season, I think.
Oh, I certainly hope so. Yeah, that was amazing. That was that and sort of Silverstone last season. Just been the perfect races for me. You get to do a bit of everything.
Yeah.
You get some battling.
We have got some of the you know, like next time out that Nürburgring track. I'm going to absolutely love that race, especially if Pete is racing, because I guarantee he will get lost. But how do you tend to go round there? It's a hard track to learn, isn't it? It's too big.
Yeah, it's too big, it's too long, and it's rubbish for racing. But I don't know. I don't really know how good I am there. I've done it. I did it once for the 24-hour and did about 2 laps, and I broke our car. And I haven't really done it since. So I know my way around, but I don't think I'm quick. But we will see come next. Is it next week?
It is next week, mate. It's every week, this series. So, yes, quite an interesting calendar this season. So, looking forward to it. Anyway, we've got 14 million people to interview. So, any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Just standard stuff to you guys. Thanks again for hosting, and thanks for putting it on and bringing together such a great bunch of drivers. It's always good, clean, fun, fair racing. So that's excellent, and thank you for organising that. And to Stephen and Spencer in particular at the end there, that was amazing racing. That was really good fun.
To Stephen and Spencer for letting you have the win.
Well, yeah. If you want to diminish it like that, sure.
All right, mate. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth, and we'll catch you next time out.
Thanks, guys. See you next time.
Good night.
Okay, so let's bring in next our second place GT4 driver. We see him in a battle all evening with wobbly kneecaps. Simon Trendle, welcome back to the series.
Thank you. Those kneecaps aren't wobbly enough. Someone needs to kneecap him a bit.
Yeah, look, I'll let you into a little secret, but just punt him, mate. We can remove that from the broadcast, and nobody will see it.
I got close a couple of times. It was tempting to lift the brake.
But yeah, absolutely fantastic battle with. Well, to be fair, the start of the race, that there was. I think 6 or 7 of the GT4s all in close quarters in a line, and then you and Wobbly and Chris managed to get away after the pit stops, but you managed to dump Chris and just make it a Wobbly versus Simon race.
Yeah, I'm not sure how we did that because we were side by side for a lot of it. Yeah, I don't know why Chris dropped back, to be honest. I don't think we were going particularly well. The pace was fast, but it wasn't extreme or anything.
Yeah, and obviously, your nearest rival is always your teammate, so always good to beat Jamie again.
If I don't do that, then it's probably time I quit.
He does blame you for a lot of things when we interview him, as you probably heard. But burning question on my lips is, what's that Aston like?
I quite like it. There's nothing wrong with the car around there. I just don't like Sebring. I'm definitely lacking a few attempts, like 3 or 4 maybe, as you saw in qualifying. I was 3 or 4 off Wobbly and sorry, forgotten the name now. Stephen was able to do.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just something to do with Sebring. So, but the car feels fine. It's fantastic. I love it. It's got a bit of slip in traction control, which I like, which you didn't really get in the McLaren.
Okay, well, that bodes well for the rest of the series. So we're going to let you go because you can see below. There's a lot of people want to have a chat tonight. Any shout outs you want to give?
Yep, to everyone who's in the series turning up because that was a fantastic race. I even got to catch the end of the TCR because they were so far behind us on the lap, so that was good. Yeah, you guys for putting on the broadcast. And I think everyone in the interview is busy chatting with themselves. It's very busy in there.
Yeah, that's why we like just dragging them in when they're halfway through a sentence. That's great.
Fantastic. Let's try and get some.
Yeah, okay, mate. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth. Congratulations on your second place, and we'll see you next time out.
Thank you, guys. Cheers.
Okay, so let's now bring in... Oh, hang on. Things are scrolling about, and I haven't asked them to. The truth is in the name. We've got him mid-sentence. It's
Hello.
Spencer, second place McCarthy.
Yay. Well, that was a good finish, wasn't it?
That was a hell of a race. There was paint being traded. There was walls being scraped. There was grass being scuffed. Pretty much everything you expect from a TCR race.
That was TCR. Yeah, 100% TCR. That was great fun. I did, as you can see, absolutely everything I could to try and hang on to that. I think I was pretty much the slowest of the top 3. I just was trying to be as consistent as possible, manage everything as possible, and let everyone else fight. And yeah, it came to that last lap, and I'd clearly been caught. And to be honest, I clearly got had. I think going through the last complex, is it Le Mans, the penultimate corner. As we were coming through there, I was like, yeah, no, I've overdriven this. I'm trying too hard to kind of keep Stephen behind. And yeah, he sort of planned the overtake really well. But then obviously Sam was there as well to pick up the pieces. So it all ended up in a last corner shootout. And I just sort of threw it in there, trying to hold the front end in as much as possible. And yeah, second. Yeah, I mean, it's better than I thought, to be honest. So I'm happy with that.
And obviously you are in the Honda, aren't you, this year? How does that compare to... You did drive the Elantra, didn't you, last season?
Yeah.
What's the comparison with the two cars?
Yeah, it's very different. It's if you just literally... If you kind of just take one tiny little mistake, you've lost half a second. It's like one of those cars that you just need to be bang on every single lap and keep the momentum going every single lap. You can't kind of make that kind of little slide or mistake going into a certain corner. It's just whether it was just this particular track and whether I was just literally on the limit of my own pace around here. I just felt that any tiny little moment, then I was just losing seconds. You know, a couple of laps I did like mid-14s, and it was like, wow, where did that second go? You know, I had to literally be on the money every single lap. But yeah, got there.
Yeah, you certainly did, and a second place to start the season off is not to be scoffed at. You know, I said a couple of times in the broadcast, the talent in not just the TCR this season, but also the GT4. When you look at that points table tomorrow, once I've got it updated, you've earned every point that you've collected in each race.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, yeah, it's great to have Simon back in the GT4s as well. I mean, that should make some good racing.
Yeah.
I'll look at the broadcast back again. Hopefully that's panned out. But yeah, no, I don't know. I did what I could tonight, and I think, I didn't get fastest lap. There's no pole position, which is fine. They're the bonus points, but they've been spread out. I think Stephen got the fastest lap and Sam got the pole. So it does seem a lot more of a level playing field this year, doesn't it? So let's hope that kind of continues through the rest of the season.
Yeah, I think next week Nürburgring 24 will be a bit of a leveler because it's one of those tracks that you can either drive it or you get lost.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But anyway, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Not really. I'm knackered.
Excellent. That's what we like to hear. That keeps it short and sweet. Congratulations on your second place, and we'll see you next time out.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thanks for all your hard work.
Okay, so we haven't got our third place driver in GT4, so let's bring in Mr. Stephen Unlucky Walker. How did that go for you? That was a hell of a battle at the end.
Oh, the whole race was a battle. I just made a few silly mistakes and then just had to drive well angry for the rest of the race, and the end was just incredible. I loved every second of every corner of that race was brilliant.
Yeah, well, we were saying, with a lap to go, Sam was out of it. With a corner to go, the win could have been taken by any of you. All three of you could have won that. All three of you could have crossed the line at exactly the same time. You just couldn't call it.
Yeah, I saw Sam go down the inside. I knew my run would be compromised, but I thought it would bring Sam into play to make something interesting in that last corner. And when I saw him go to the inside, I was like, I'll try and get the sweeping line to get the better exit. And it worked, but unfortunately, they were right there in front of me on that line. They swept. I couldn't quite get the undercut to the inside, so I had to let off. Otherwise, I was just driving into the back of them too quickly, and I didn't want to obviously do that. So yeah, it just didn't quite work out, but it was brilliant.
Yeah, well, we've said it for many seasons. The driving in this series is second to none, and obviously you're a big part of that. So glad to see you're still enjoying it. We've seen you 2 seasons ago, totally dominant, winning, was it 11 out of 12? Last season, although you did pick up some big points, you did struggle at times. How do you think overall it's going to be this season?
Obviously, I'd like to think it would be a better than last season. With the changes they've done to the cars, the Honda feels really, really nice. A lot different to how it felt the season it came out, and by the looks of it, suits my driving. I was really confident in my pace. It might just be this track, to be fair. I don't know. We'll see how the rest of the season goes, like I say. But I could have probably nicked that as well, but so could Spencer, and obviously Sam did nick it. So I'm confident, a lot more confident than I was last season. Start off with a podium, just work our way up from there. I'd like to get at least one win again, and maybe 2 or 3. It depends. Obviously, the standard is so high, it's difficult to even win a race, let alone finish on the podium.
Yeah, I certainly can't disagree with you. But, good, like you say, good to start off the season with a podium. Any shout-outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously you guys putting on the league, smashing it as usual. Russ, I think, finished 4th. I gave him a little nudge to get him out of my way as well. So thanks for that, Russ, Multi21. And then the rest of the team just for turning up, and then everyone for watching. I hope we put on a good show. It was brilliant to be a part of, I'll tell you that.
Excellent. Well, we look forward to watching you get lost around the Nürburgring 24-hour next week.
Well, I like to put it in less walls at the Nürburgring than I did today. Jesus.
All right, mate. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth. Congratulations on your podium, and we'll see you next time out.
Cheers, guys. I appreciate it.
Okay, so there must have been a fire in the interview waiting room because everybody's disappeared. Although, I believe, Mr. Roger Morton, are you still about?
I am, yeah.
He certainly is. So, at this point, I am going to hand over to Sir Alan Toon because he's got to practice and he's going to do his first ever post-race interview.
I am. Oh, right. Okay, I'll just wake up here. No, I was enjoying the replays of the race. That was very exciting. Roger, my friend. Roger, Now, what I've got to say to you, tell me about your race, my dear.
Well, to be fair, I wasn't meant to be racing. I wasn't. I was meant to be having a bit of a season out to do other things, and Clyde basically told me I had to race. I raced. So no practicing. To be fair, it was sort of my first half was my better half, and then I sort of lost on my toe in after pits and stop, and yeah, it's just sort of a bit of a lonely race towards the end. But yeah, I enjoyed my first half. Definitely.
They're fast drivers, aren't they, Rog?
Yeah, they do take some hanging on to, definitely.
I think you did well, though, matey. It's just, no practice, and I think it's great that you've stepped up to the plate,
Cheers, mate. Yeah, no, we'll give it a go. We keep going. It looks like I'm going to have to see the season out now. Now I've paid, so
Good
yeah,
on you.
just
Good
I'm
on you.
struggle finding time to practice, but yeah, we'd be great.
Yeah.
Someone's got to finish last.
Well, I saw you in a battle with Pete, and it's close racing all down the field. It doesn't matter where you are, does it? You're going to get in a race with somebody.
No, I really enjoyed that. With 4 of us, with Dave. Fortunately, he's had issues with his headset again. And then
is that what it was?
Matt and Pete, yeah, it was a good battle up until we sort of split up after pit stops. But never mind.
Yeah, no, we had a good view of it. It was close. There was these little knots of cars all through the field having real tight battles. It was really exciting.
Yes, it was very, very good, mate. Very good.
Oh, my dear. Now, people always say, do you want to give a shout out to somebody? Would you like to shout out?
To you, Alan. You're going to be my shout out. I think this is going to be your position. I think I'm looking forward to watching the replay and hearing your voice and whatnot. So
I've got to agree with you, Roger. I think Alan has found his calling, and I think probably by midway in this season we won't be able to shut him up.
No, I think nerves. I've been a bit nervous in background talking to him, but I know for a fact he's been looking forward to doing it. So yeah, I'm glad he's done it, because I reckon it'd be natural to him. This.
Oh, thank you.
I've not even seen the replay yet, so I can just imagine him being natural to it.
Well, it's a long way to go. I'd certainly like to show some of the facility that my fellow commentators do, because they're really good at this and they make it look easy, and it ain't.
Yeah, they are very good. To be fair, it's you've got a good team to help you there as well. Definitely.
Indeed. Well, yeah, I've really had a very good time doing this tonight. It's a stretching kind of thing, and that's a good thing to have in your life.
Alan, you smashed it, mate. You did a really good job.
Right. Well, we will say congratulations to Roger on finishing, and we'll let him go because we've got a few other little bits to clear up before we finish the broadcast. So thanks for joining us in the booth, Roger. Thanks for helping Alan out on his first ever interview, and we look forward to seeing you racing again and you joining us for an interview after races again.
No worries, mate. Catch you later. Thanks again, guys.
Hi, Rog.
Right, okay, guys. So that is the interviews over. So, Alan, first of all, sum up that race in 30 seconds.
Wow, tense and close, I would say, and very entertaining from start to finish. Never a dull moment, actually.
Yeah, not going to disagree with that. Stacey, your summary of the season opener for season 8?
Very surprising, especially at the end. That was brilliant. That's the best end of a race I've watched for a long time.
Excellent. And Sam, from the camera point of view. Plenty of action going on the track. As we know, not always easy to keep up with, but some fantastic battling all the way through that field.
Awesome. And I think the driver will be happy to know that's me on the camera and not you.
I'm not going to disagree with you, mate. It's an absolute nightmare. I'd rather talk rubbish than try and click rubbish. And if I was on the cameras tonight, mate, we would have had serious trouble because I've had no end of technical difficulties tonight. Although you wouldn't know because I'm so professional, I've just powered through it. Another question for Alan, just before we get on to our driver of the meeting votes that Stacey has managed to change before we've even started. How was your first commentary session, Alan?
What can I say? I'm a bit tired now because that was rather exciting and fairly intimidating in places because you've got to... I don't really know what to say and when to say it, but that apart, it's been a fantastic experience for me, Clyde. It has,
Excellent.
and it's been a pleasure to be here. It has, and it's been a pleasure to feel a part of this great team because Backfire are a really good outfit. You know, your favourite broadcasters, and it's a pleasure and honour to sit here in this studio with you.
That's always good to hear. So, lastly, I like to put my fellow commentators and the cameraman under the spotlight, and we vote for our driver of the meeting. Now, Stacey has begged, pleaded, sent me nudes, all sorts, because she would like to have a driver of the meeting in both categories. So we do one in GT4, one in TCR. So that's what we're going to do because we like to be different. And because it's Stacey's idea, we're going to Stacey first. So please give us your two drivers of the meeting.
I knew that was coming. Okay, my GT4 driver of the night has got to go to Wobbly. And my
There's a
TCR
shock. There's a shock. Fiddle.
put on a good show as usual. You know, the first lap absolutely stormed through. Brilliant race from him. So yeah, that's my GT4 driver of the night for Wobbly. TCR, this is an easy one. This has got to go to Cole Hardy, Pie Man himself. Reason for this one is he had a fabulous start. He qualified really well. He was holding his own. Not quite sure what happened, but yeah, he definitely deserves it this time round for his first race.
Okay, so let's go to Sam next, because Alan wasn't sure that, or Alan didn't know he was going to have to do this, so we'll give him a little bit of time to think about it. So,
Yes.
Sam, please give me your drivers of the meeting.
For the GT4, I'm gonna pick Simon. I think he drove a very good race, and as we will have Stacey a few times in the booth, I'm sure Wobbly will have thousands of votes this season. So I'm gonna pick Simon, and Sam for a wonderful move on the last lap to take the win in TCRs.
Okay, so Simon and Sam from Sam. That was a bit of a mouthful. Right, so I'll do mine next. That gives Alan plenty of time. And next week we'll go to Alan first, just to put him under pressure. So as we all know, I never vote for the winners unless they do something really, really special, like sending me a brown envelope full of money. So I am reluctantly going to agree with Sam. And my vote is going to go to Simon Trendle for the fantastic battle with wobbly kneecaps. In TCR, I was a little bit worried halfway through the race, thinking, oh shit, I'm going to have to vote for Carl. Luckily, he decided to put his car in reverse and go backwards. So I'm going to give my vote to Stephen Walker because I remember at one point in the race, it was the Sam Blee Spencer McCarthy show, and Stephen managed to get up there, put it to him, trade paint, trade brickwork, trade everything you can think of, but ultimately came home in the unlucky third position. So my TCR driver of the evening is going to go to Stephen Walker. So over to you, Sir Alan.
Well, I'm sorry, but yes, Sam stole my thunder because I'm with the Simon and Sam show.
Okay, there's no what word am I looking for? No shame in that, to be honest. It's it's a little bit
I thought
of fun.
Simon did a great job of making a wobbly race, and that finish was well.
Yeah, there's no other words, is there? So that is our drivers of the meeting for tonight. It's been so long since I've done a broadcast. I have no idea what I'm doing now. What have we got coming up on BSTV in the very near future? I have absolutely no idea because I am that unprepared. I haven't even got my screen open, so I'm going to have a look at my calendar and guess it. So on Saturday, we are in V8 action with the Simability V8 ESC. And it is coming from the home of V8, which is Bathurst. This season has been absolutely fantastic. These cars are made for Bathurst. This is definitely one not to miss. And then next Wednesday, as we said earlier, we are back with round 2 of this series. It is from the Green Hell, which is the Nürburgring 24-hour circuit. You've seen the racing tonight. It's going to be even better next week. Pete Bingham is most definitely going to get lost. It will make the whole thing a lot funnier. So make sure you drop this video a like, for no other reason apart from I like to see that little thumbs up number go up. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube and make sure you follow us on Facebook. That will ensure that you never miss any of our action. Big thank you to all of our drivers that turn up week in, week out and put on this fantastic show for us and the viewers. Big thank you to the viewers. We've had quite a few tonight. The Toon Army have been in attendance, and we always appreciate your comments on the chat. Big thanks to Stacey. It was a pleasure to have you in the booth and be able to understand you for the whole hour without you turning into Metal Mickey.
Thanks, Chloe.
Massive thank you to Sir Alan Toon, who we, as I said at the start of the broadcast, we only spoke about commentating at the back end of last week, and he's jumped in with both feet. Hopefully, thoroughly enjoyed it. Hopefully, we haven't put him off, and he will be back next week. Big thanks as usual to Sam. You know, even though I do 99% of the work at BSTV for no pay, the 1% that Sam does is very important. So yeah, big thanks to Sam. Time for us to say goodnight. Stay safe out there, people, and we'll catch you next time out. I shall say goodnight, let everybody else say goodnight, and then we'll close the broadcast. So good night, everybody, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully I'll be back in the booth next week. It all depends if Martin's racing or not, or how the internet's going. Well done to Alan. Absolutely smashed it tonight. Can't wait to hear you next week. So good night from me.
Good night, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed my small amount of input, and I want to thank Simon, Clyde, and Stacey for their encouragement and support. They're good people to be around in this situation, and I shall be back for more. Thank you very much.
well, it left the most important one to say goodbye. So goodbye, everybody. Thanks, Clyde. Alan, thank you. That was great to have you in the booth. And Stacey, glad to have you back. So we'll catch you on Saturday for some awesome V8 action.